Who would you consider modern-day blue-collar intellectuals?
Well, I think one of them just died. A lot of people would point to a guy like Andy Rooney. They loved Andy Rooney on 60 Minutes. Someone who can condense complex ideas for the everyman. I think another guy who I wrote actually a column in Human Events. I don't always care for his documentaries, but I think Ken Burns is a guy who you might call a blue-collar intellectual. A lot of people think Ken Burns is an historian. He's not. He has a degree, an undergraduate degree in history, like I do, And he just decided he wanted to make these documentaries. And I think he's doing something very unique, which is he's making history come alive. I don't know that he always gets the history right, and he may have his slants and his biases, but I think he's at least making an effort to make the past come alive. And it's very hard to make the dead walk, so to speak, and he does that. But unfortunately, the point of the book is there's a void. We don't have this kind of blue-collar intellectual as much as we did in mid-century America, and that's something that we really suffer from in America today.
So what would you say readers, they pick this up, and I recommend go ahead and pick up Blue-Collar Intellectuals. What is the main takeaway you want them to get after finishing it?
Well, I think that everyone has the power in their own lives to make a positive impact. I don't think that people are going to read Blue-Collar Intellectuals and it's going to, that they're going to see some policy prescription that's going to change, because this is really about the way the culture has been going. And the culture has been going, I think, in a real unhealthy direction. I write in the book about libraries. I'm a user and abuser of libraries. I just went to the library right before I came down to D.C. Last thing I did was go to the public library. Every November, the American Library Association hosts the largest video game tournament in the world, National Gaming Day, at libraries. I mean, to me, young people are kind of getting enough video games outside of libraries. I don't know that they need a library to be pushing video games, and yet that's what the American Library Association is doing. There's a school in my home state of Massachusetts, Cushing Academy, a prep school. It costs about $40,000 a year to go to. A few years ago, they made the decision that they were going to get rid of all of the books in their library. They're going to have a library with no books, and with part of the money that they usually spent on books, they decided to buy a cappuccino machine and 3 flat-screen televisions. This is for what used to be their school library. You'd think for 40 grand a year, you might be able to get a few books. Books have been the primary means to convey complex ideas for the last 400 or so years. And the idea that we're just gonna throw that all away and we're all going to get smart by doing Google searches devoid of any context, just grabbing facts over the internet. I think that's unhealthy. I think the way that people read online by scanning things and skimming things and not really reading them, that's unhealthy. The way they write with just text messages, that kind of thing. We're going into a brave new world, and I think people should consider whether they want to rush headlong into that.